Hi, Vivi. Hot. How are you? All right, we moved things around a little bit. So TikTok's over here and YouTube's over there, and I don't think I like it. Hey, Imogen. But we'll see how it goes. All right. All right. I needed a freaking notebook the other day, and the only thing I could do was to tear a bunch of sheets out of one that I had used. I don't know what I'm going to do with those. Oh. Hi, Liz. All right, let me get the list going. I'm a little bit late. I almost got on like an hour ago, and then I didn't. Okay. Right, Imogen. Okay, I don't even know what all's in here now because I just said it. No. Who all wants me on the list? I know I figured Liz, but I want to see Vivi. All right, Vivi. I know Imogen because she paid, and Liz. Vivi and Liz, you guys want to be on here? Camille, Vivi, Liz, Camille. Okay, sweet, awesome. All right, this is the list. We got Imogen. Hers is paid. She already paid before we got on, and then I've got Vivi, Liz, Camille. I need to. Oh, I knew I forgot something. I made a freaking grocery list that I, of course, forgot at home. And I was like, I know I forgot something. What was it? Looks at list. Dang it. That's what I forgot. It's okay. It's not that big a deal. Okay. One second. Okay, I see Amanda. Okay, all right. Let's keep the codes. Oh, I want to say this. I know most of you guys probably already know this, but it is starting to get kind of frustrating. And like, I know it happens by accident sometimes. And if it happens by accident, I understand. But like, sometimes people like leave by choice, not because they fell asleep and don't come back and they don't say anything. And that is rude. So if you have to go, tell me. If you fall asleep, it's fine. I'm not going to come hunt anybody down, but like, you know, it does get kind of frustrating. I know my readings are long, so if you don't want to stay, that's fine. Just tell me. Hey, Jenny. There you go. Imogen, are you ready? All right, this is the list right now, guys. So, Imogen, Vivi, Liz, Camille, Amanda, Jenny. That's what we got. Also, just a reminder, if anybody is wanting a I totally heard it that way too. That was good. Yeah, like psychically heard you think it in that voice too. That was funny. Okay, yeah, just a friendly reminder that if you subscribe on YouTube, YouTube subscribers get a free question, one per live stream. Yeah. Okay, can I please get what? Oh, right. I forgot what you wanted to even ask me. Let me go look. Hold on. This freaking phone case is great. I love it. It does its job, but like it, I swear to God, it collects everything on the screen. Message app. There we go. Okay. Let's see how he's doing. Anything is still the same. Meeting him for my birthday or on my birthday weekend. I don't know which one. you said. I think it's going to be before. I just want to ask, is my intuition right about when the month of March hits? I start to feel like myself again because I've been feeling that way since this has been going on. Okay. Whew. Okie dokie. Thank you. I'm writing BRB next to everybody's name that's like, I'll come back. That way I know if I call a couple of times that they're not, they don't answer. Like, they're just not here. What am I? This is not related to anything, but it's short and it's funny. My sister, she's like really into like angel numbers and stuff like that. And I've sort of started getting into numerology a little bit, but anyway, her phone was dead, so she had to go plug it up. She's standing in the kitchen a little while ago, and she was like looking at the top of the cereal box, and it had some numbers, and she was like, "Can you message me this number? Tells me what it is." And I was like, and then I put in what did I say? I said, "You wanted this weird ass random number." I sent her the number, and she just got her phone back on, and she, with crying laughing face, it was like, "Thank you." Okay, all right, let's see. What's the energy with Imogen and her? Let me do this first. Let's see. All right. Is Imogen still most likely going to meet her person before her birthday? Yeah, still getting a yes. Kind of feeling it out a little bit. You guys. Oh, I just realized. I was like, why am I so distracted? Because I didn't take my friggin' medicine. That's why. Hold on a second. We're not going to get through the night if I don't do this. I think my coffee's not super hot. Anyways, got Maisie a new cage. It's like this tall. It's like 3 levels. She loves it. There's 2 houses to choose from. She chose the second story. Okay, all right. Let's see energy between Imogen and her person. Yeah. These are good. Okay. Okay, these look really good. Most of them are upright. And the ones that are in, where was that? I lost it. Okay, well, the ones that are in reverse are more like work in progress rather than stuck in the mud. Excuse me. Nourishment, independence, new opportunities, patience. Those are all upright. Then we've got healing wounds is in reverse. It's just a work in progress. Determination is upright. Purification's in reverse. Guardianship and loyalty are upright. So essentially, like, I'm going to say, like, I don't want to use the words like making quick work of it, but that's the ones that. Sorry. I have a metal roof and there are trees right above me. Yeah, this one's paid, yeah. So, right. Anyways, work in progress, basically. But they are, like, really working. Like, I mean, I think like possibly like even in therapy or something, like they seem like they're genuinely working on their shit. And like this independence card, I think that one of the things we got before was that they were like really healing from a previous relationship or whatever. And I think they've like completely separated from that situation. And they're finding like this nourishment and independence are really, really great because that is like let's say a pretty solid symbol that tells me that they are not codependent and neither are you. So like that is a big foundation for a healthy relationship. Is like because we don't want codependent, okay? Because codependent is toxic. That's what it is. Okay, so it does definitely look, this healing wounds and purification in reverse. Like there's still some things that they're working through, but ultimately, like they are a good person and they are putting in the work to get it done. Let me see. What was the other thing you asked me? Oh, I was gonna ask these and see if. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's understandable. Okay, let's see. Are they gonna meet? We most likely gonna meet before her birthday. I forgot when your birthday is. This is way too many damn cards. Hold on. Alright, Imogen and her person most likely gonna get together before her birthday. That's the yes card. And we also got. Okay, so Wish is the first card. Let me say that one's kind of self-explanatory. Hello to anyone over on YouTube. It says there's 2 people in here. Anyway, so Wishing's the first card. I have the Forbidden card, but it's just a door, It's just a door. So to me, it's very much like it's closed right this very second. That's why you're not seeing it. But like the energy's absolutely there. Fulfillment, the yes card, self-worth, like, this is like connection with your higher self. Progress. Fucking, I'm done. Change. Big change. Transformation. These all look really good. So I'm going to say solid with the cards and the pendulum. We're saying yes about meeting the guy. Okie dokie, thank you. Okay. Oh, is your intuition right about use this again? I haven't used this deck in forever. I know. I forgot. When is it? I forgot when it is. I forget. I TikTok. The most gorgeous cumstone. You guys seen that shit? I was, if you heard what it said, I was, my mom was standing on her porch and she almost came over here to check on me because I was laughing so hard that I couldn't breathe. She almost came over here to check on me because sorry for the echo. Anyways, oh, Jesus. March 10th. Okay. Oh, that is so soon. Oh my God. Yeah. So if you didn't hear it, I can't even. It's terrible, but it was funny as shit. Okay. I didn't even ask a question yet. They were like, could you get on with it? I forgot I was going to ask. Oh, if you were right. Okay. Intuition right about when March is going to start feeling myself. Okay. Alright, she's going to start feeling more like herself in the beginning of March, I should say. Beginning of March. Okay. Sorry. I'm like, oh, it's cold. Never mind. I'm hot. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. Like the first few are kind of talking about like basically how you're feeling right now. And then we've got this one. All right, so this is like we're closing a chapter and starting a new one, right? Which is definitely, honestly, you're closing a book and starting a new one at this point. Like, so because we've got that, right? Big change and transformation, clearing away all this crap. Then we've got playful. Then we've got beauty. This is like in life in general, right? And being able to have the things you want, enjoy the things you want, great energy, confidence. I'm sorry about the light. Confidence and fulfillment. So yes, I'm going to say yes. Exactly. Closing the big book. Tax. Wow. Yeah. This the kind of shit you're getting rid of right here. Yes. Yes. I meant to text you and I forgot. I've been sleeping today. It was great, but I got up too early. I had to strangle my son yesterday. Usually Wednesdays is my sleep day. Wednesday did not end up being my sleep day. He came and woke me up for the dumbest crap like 30 times. Yeah. All right. Okay. Any other questions? Show me what this man looks like. I know. I know. I suck at that. I need to get my sister over here. Like, hey, tell me what this guy looks like, because she has a really strong clairvoyance. Like that, I think is her easiest thing. Like clairaudience is my easiest thing. Clairvoyance is her easiest thing. This girl can scry in anything. I swear. You could spill cereal on the counter and she could scry in it. Hold on. She might be asleep. I don't think so though. She was on a minute ago. Yeah. Other than the viewing capabilities, which is I don't know. I don't know why it's hard with that. Like I can do it with certain other things. So make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, awesome. You're welcome. Okay, all right. Vivi, you're up. I am. Oh shit, Imogen, if you're still on, she's gonna do it. I don't know if she's still here. Maybe. Oh wow. 12:12. She's not. I'm gonna text her. Hold on. Cause I wanna know. Hold on, I'm texting her. It's for Imogen and like her person or whatever. She wants to know what he looks like. And I suck at that. Like really bad. Can I get 4 cards for Vivi, please? Okay, she's coming back. She's back. Yeah. Woo! Why do we even have it up here? What direction? Oh, okay. Well, I'm terrible at it, so I mean, it's worth a shot. Okay, all right. Are these all for Vivi? They're all in the right direction. Wow. I don't know if I should wait until Rose gets her answer. I'm just gonna start reading these, and then Rose, you can comment or message me. Ready? Okay. And Vivi, so we've got the something new, deceit in reverse, communication upright, and safety in reverse. This very much feels like, I'm gonna say it feels like be careful. Like there's some kind of new energy or opportunity or person that's coming into the picture where things are not like they seem. You know what I mean? Like one of those, whether it's, I don't know if necessarily it's the too good to be true kind of, but like either way, it just, like the communication upright to me makes me think of, how I tell people like just take your time and really get to know a person, that kind of thing. And like that can go for like opportunities as well. It doesn't necessarily just have to be a person. Like that's what I tend to immediately think of with the deceit card. But either way, the deceit card in reverse is someone outside of yourself. So, because like upright, it can tend to be stuff like, us being sort of disloyal to ourselves, or like lying to ourselves, or that kind of stuff. This is external. I wonder if the other ones are going to give me some kind of freaking hint as to what the heck they're talking about. Choices. Wow. This one's individuality. So, well, you're about to get faced with a choice. So you need to ask all the questions. You know what I mean? Get all of the information, and then listen to your gut. Don't ignore anything. If it feels off, it's off. All in hands. Yeah. Well, this is my experience is I think sometimes they have to give you, like they dangle the carrot to see if you're going to go in that direction, when really what you're wanting is like over here, hiding behind the bush. So like just look at all of the options, you know what I mean? Literally what I manifested. It's all in hand. So it was just like, yep, that's the 2 things I said. Okay. Can I get a card for everybody, please? Oh, man. Okay, I'm not going to read both of them, but I'm going to tell you what they are. And I don't want you to sit in one spot. I may end up just reading these 2. Can I get a card for Vivi? least every one of these. Oh, yeah, because you grabbed this one before. Okay, I'm going to do these two. So I think they are what's important. 1000%. There's what's important. One of these I know you've got, I think, recently. But you're welcome. Okay, so this one is Remember Who You Are. Remember who you are. Hey! Yeah, you can. Sorry, it takes me a minute over there, guys. I forget that I'm on YouTube a lot. Okay. This moment boils down to this. You are not your circumstances. You are not your crisis, pain, shame, or diminishment. Your anxiety and trauma are lying to you. Endeavor to remember the truth in your core. The ancient Greek goddess of memory says, "You are starlight and seashell, moon pearl and mothwing. Now is the time to remember who you were before the world told you who you should be." Allow yourself to take up all the space you need to express your particular genius. Let yourself love who and what you love unabashedly. Make no apologies for what feels most natural and alive to you. Call upon the wisdom of the ancestors that swim through your veins. Carry the song of sky and sea along the chambers of your heart. Awaken true memory. Remember yourself. Remind yourself you only need to honor your true nature to embody true belonging. Okay, and then the other one. This one is the one I think you've gotten recently, but I think it was important again, which is Bravely Go. Bravely Go. Sorry, I can't hold it up over there much further. Okay. Remember the adage, speak softly and carry a big stick. If you've never heard it, it basically means it's time to move forward bravely while carrying your awareness and discernment like a weapon. You already know which way to go. This is the moment to get up and move toward the path you're being called to, even if the way is dark or scary, especially if it's dark or scary. The only way to cure inertia is to move. So put your brave boots on and get busy. If there's something in your life that scares and excites you at the same time, it's almost always the best thing ever. You get a chance to prove to yourself that you're bigger than your fear, while also showing yourself you're worth every inspirational and thrilling experience you can dream up. Do it. Aww. I don't know if she's still in here, but if not, I'll tell her whenever I see her again. Thank you, Rose. I appreciate your assistance. Yeah, I think that the key with that one is it's talking about the, move forward, but use your discernment, like, do the digging, ask the questions, trust your gut. Okay, let's see. You need to be aware of. So a few days ago, I got going into some clothes with a guy. I was dressing like he was it's on. So I seen the same guy tonight. Ooh, that's creepy as shit. You're gonna have to remind me of your name. I'm still learning the names over here. You're welcome. All right, is Liz here? Quajon, okay. I feel like I'm still saying it wrong. I have to renew protections too. Probably also a good idea. Yeah. I'm going to answer this really quick because it's going to take hopefully just a couple seconds. So, all right. Something. Okay, good night. Thank you. Oh, okay. Sounds good. Thank you. Okay, I'm pulling on your question real quick. And then Liz is next when she's here. I'm gonna answer this question real quick. Come on, guys. Oh, okay. Read what you said again. So, I guess my question is, hey Liz, I think you're back. I'm not sure. Okay, right. So did he have the mask on still, or you just saw a guy that like you think was similar in the same sweatpants? Inside, on the side store. Okay. I think it was the same guy. I don't think he was following you. I think that there may be some like I'm just gonna say I'm gonna just I think that you have reasons that you are hypervigilant, that you feel like there's somebody following you. So probably some like past something. So I don't think that you're like this is not me dismissing your anxiety. I don't think that he was following you. Um, and I don't think that like you're overreacting by being concerned about it, but I do think that you should maybe look at why that's there. That being said, I know why I'm hypervigilant, and it happens anyway. That girl we spoke about last time is part of a cult. Oh, geez. Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair reason. That's a fair reason. Yeah, he wasn't following you. I think you got triggered. Honestly, I think that's what it was. I think that you got triggered, which is not invalid. I feel you. You should hear mine. People say I should write a book. I told them it would be a series that no one would read. Hello, Harry. So I do the free questions for my YouTube subscribers. There's the link into my bio where you can just look it up and scroll down a little bit. I'm live on there too, and it's just Amethyst Tarot. Okay, Liz, are you here? Yes, she's here. Okay, good. Okay, can I get 4 cards for Liz, please? Woo. That was not 4 cards. I'm just not going to pull those apart. Just I would just do some self-care stuff, right? To ground yourself and get it out of your head because I know you're freaked out now. I can feel it. Like they're not after you, but I totally understand. Same freaking thing happened to me last night in the grocery store. I was like super paranoid, and there was like a guy that came up and talked to me that was giving me the creeps, and thankfully I was on the phone with my guy friend, and I was like, oh, hold on 1 second, Eli, and I said his name pretty loud so that the guy knew that I was on the phone with a guy. It made me feel a lot better. So I totally understand what you're saying. Check out line you up past me is going to shop, sign it up, going to my car waiting for my cousin because that's That's totally fair, dude. You know, you have to do what is going to make you feel safe. You know, like it's not like your feelings are valid even if the guy wasn't after you. Just to say that. Oh, no, everybody sees the pendulum and they're like, he has no questions. Okay, so I do free questions for my YouTube subscribers. I'm live on YouTube right now too. My name on there is Amethyst Tarot, or there's a link to it in my bio. If you go over there and subscribe, you can ask the question and I'll answer. But otherwise, I don't do free questions. Okay. Thanks all for Liz. Are they on the right direction? Thank you. Okay, but thank you for asking instead of just asking the question. Okay. But I'm sorry that happened to you, by the way. All right, so we've got boundaries, metamorphosis are in reverse, leadership's upright, and satisfaction's in reverse. Jesus. You know what? I think life needs to get it together and just chill out. They've put you through enough recently. So all right, so I'm going to tell you what I'm like hearing. You're welcome. What I'm hearing is people don't change. So if somebody from the past is coming up like making promises, or if you're just sitting there thinking about things and wishing they were different, like some people just don't change. People don't change unless they really want to. And most people don't want to. They don't want to. They stay in the same mindset their entire lives. You're not that person, right? So like the only thing at this point that you can do is watch out for you, right? Like you do what you can to take control of the things that you can, because it's not other people. And like those people are going to stay miserable. Like, and there's nothing that you can do about that or to get people to change. And I know you mostly already know this, but I just don't want you to sink into that. Like, well, why couldn't they change, or why couldn't they do this, or why couldn't I get them to do this, or anything like that. Okay, yeah, the card that was stuck because then was hope in reverse. I don't think you're doing anything wrong. I don't think that this is a punishment. I think that you're in between like what was a lesson and the things that are for you that are coming, to be honest. Like, I don't even want to give you a shadow card. I might see what comes out, but okay, can I get a card for this, please? Hello, people that are over there on YouTube. Oh, yes. Sorry. All right, let me say the list really quick. So I'm on Liz, and then I have Camille, Amanda, Jenny, and I already answered your question. So if you want me on the list for free cards, you can comment your first name. If you're interested in a paid reading, pricing is over here. And then payment links are my bio on here, or they're in the pinned comment over on YouTube. If you want a free question, subscribers on YouTube get one free question per stream. Okay, can I get a card for Liz, please? Beautiful. They're perfect. Confidence. The good shit is coming, okay? And this one over here is definitely like the Oops, passed it. Starting to feel more calm. I can tell when my ADHD meds start to kick in, because I'm like, oh, I can think. Hi. I know. I can't. It's so TikTok flips it, and I started going live on TikTok a long time ago, and so yeah. I appreciate that. I know. I can't send this backwards. It drives me crazy, but there's nothing I can do about it. Okay. People just in general, because my life is, yeah, no. I think that I see you over there. I'm going to write you down. Just give me 1 second. I want to say it's past people. I don't feel like it didn't seem like it was coming through like future people. I think it's, when I read this one, it's going to start to make sense. But I know, dude, life's just a bitch sometimes. A lot of times, honestly. A lot of times. Let me write down Jade's name. Is it Jada? Yeah. Okay. And then you guys over there, you'll have to tell me your name if you're wanting on the list. And if you have if you're doing a question, let me know. Okay. So this one is letting go. Please don't say when they try to come back, because I don't think so. I think that it was more, when I read this, so I think that it's more about something I did shadow work on, like yesterday, which is like, I want to say forgiving yourself for the choices that you made in, like, with the information that you had, right? With the experience that you had. And that means like that just because you picked somebody, even if it was over and over for a little while, like, it's just, the point is to let that go, because their choices are on them, right? And you did change and you did get out of the situation. Something just moved over there. There's nothing over there. My mouse is over here. So whatever that was. All right, okay, it's letting go. All right. I sink deeply into the sacred opening of surrender. I let go of the need to control and create space for ease. Letting go can create space for letting in. There is a certain amount of control that can feel good, knowing we have sovereign choice and discernment, being responsible for action and outcome, and receiving rewards for making choices. Perhaps we have experienced being part of circumstances that were out of our control, or have felt what it is like to lose control. The more we have experienced feelings of control deficit, we may be more likely to have tendencies toward an excess of control. This is especially true if control has been used in a way that brought us harm. I immediately know what this is talking about. Okay. We can then become hypervigilant as a natural safety response mechanism. It is also likely that we have witnessed polarized aspects of control. Our world is filled with examples of excess control, force, and manipulation rather than healthy and balanced expressions. Letting go can seem terrifying in some cases. While letting go can feel like I will not be in control at all, the invitation is to come to a harmonious balance. Think about where you bring words. Think about where you can bring in more ease to create space for new possibilities. There is more we can't control than that which we can. So how can we let go when necessary and trust the process? Become aware of opportunities to trust and let go. There's a thing that in one of the other ones that says, I feel like I beat myself up about that. Letting go has been harder than usual. Yeah, I feel nothing anymore. I think that I'm still very hurt, and I blame what I'm going through on him. I think that's fair. I think I was going to say something else. I forgot what it was, but one of the other cards, it says that true peace comes from a balance between an active will and a surrender to what is. Like, there are going to be things that we can't control, and then, the only thing we can't control is ourselves and how we react to those things. And everybody says that over and over and over our whole freaking lives. We're like, oh, well, you can't control, that mean kid at school. Like, you can only control yourself, so don't hit him back. You know what I mean? Like, you get told that over and over and over. Like, how long does it take before that really sinks in? And the only thing we can control is us. And then I think that it's hard not to feel some sense of blame because we hear that. or like, oh, well, I'm supposed to be in control of myself. So why did I make that decision that was bad for me? Because, and it just comes down to, you make the best choices that you can with the information that you have, with the perspective, with the support, and that's all you can do. And now, like, I kind of want to read. I'm thinking about it. I'm going to read the rest of this really quick. Okay, so what am I grasping so tightly and attempting to force? When I have practiced letting go, what was the outcome? And when do I feel a need to express control, and why? Air is a wonderful element for letting go. It's super windy right now outside. I kind of want to go do this now. This can be powerfully felt when rolling down a window in a moving car, or, oh God. It's not funny. I'm sorry. That's really bad. It's a really bad comparison right now. Or standing outside when it's windy. Feel that which you are holding on to or attempting to control. Feel the power of the winds flowing in and through your energy field. Invite the energy of letting go and speak out loud. I let go of. I feel it leave me. Feel as the sound waves of wind. Feel as the sound waves of what you speak are quickly flushed away with the wind. Notice a clearing as fresh air floods in. You can also speak an energy that you are calling in to replace that which you are letting go. You can do this. Oh, you got filtered. Damn. I'm sorry that it said that. But you can do that with with fire too, just for the record. But I'm gonna read this, and then I'm gonna look at what I put in my shadow workbook, and I might potentially read something. Okay, so this one is, here's your do-over. Failure is a chimera, part beast, part blessing. It lurks just beyond our greatest plans, terrifying us. But when we're willing to fail, that toothsome chimera can become our ally. When we dare to befriend what we fear most, we become resilient, fierce. When failure threatens to overcome you, its bite tries to convince you you're dying, but it's lying. Your soul is forged of lightning and stardust, and it cannot be destroyed. But only you can prove this truth to yourself by getting back up after failure. Insist on remembering who you really are and what you're really made of. There is magic in the wake of a fiasco, and failure gifts you with a chance to refine your plans. Any path that leads astray shows us how to find a better way. When we embrace failure, we tame the beast that once terrified us. I think I'm gonna. I know I'm sorry. Got those cards more than once. I think they're trying to tell Elsa and let it go. So I let it go. Now you got that song in my head. Hold on a second. Oh, it's right here. I'm going to read this part. This is about to be a really, really vulnerable moment here. Oh, I'm not going to cry. Okay. So this is part of my shadow work that I did yesterday. Okay. I forgive myself for not knowing any better, because how could I? When my whole life all I had ever known was that love was pain. Love was suffering, love was chaos, love was staying no matter how much it hurt, because that was the only thing that gave you value. Staying through the pain made you strong, made you loyal. I never had an example of love. I saw abuse and codependency. I was never given the tools or perspective to see that I deserved better. I was never given the support to realize that my peace was more valuable than a relationship. And I was never given the self-worth to realize that I could be okay being alone. This part's about my best friend. But when Rose came into my life, I started to learn those things. And one day my perspective shifted. And when I realized that the only right choice was to walk away, break the cycle, and choose me and my son over a man, I did. So I forgive myself for the choices I made when I was doing the best I could with the knowledge, wisdom, support, and perspective that I had. I I forgive myself because I know I will never make those choices again. I did it without crying. I read it to Rose and then she was crying. Anyways, okay. So we went there just now. Sorry. Kind of, not really. So I do the things, you guys. Okay. Oh wow, happiness was in there flipped backwards. Like upright, but flipped in the wrong direction. Wow. So maybe that's it. I don't think I forgive myself for it. Yeah, and you know what? I was gonna say, I said this to somebody the other day. I don't think you were on here. So people say the phrase, we what is it? Like, we accept the love that we think that we deserve, or we attract the love that we think we deserve. And like, that's true, but not. Okay, so the way that it's different is that we have to look at it more like the frequency that we are on, right? So think of that as a path. The frequency of the things that we want are on this path over here, right? But if we're still in the mindset and in that same frequency because of guilt or whatever, we're still in the frequency that's over here. We are in that same frequency as the things that we don't want, but that's what's there. So that's what keeps showing up. So there's this idea that like, oh, it's your fault because you're calling these things to you. And it's not like that. It's just that you're over here where the not great things are, and what you want is over here. So like when we do the healing work, we change our frequency, we move ourselves onto that path that we want to be on, where all the good things already are. Because everybody also says like, oh, well, I'm calling in the good things. Get on the same path where they are. They're already there. I don't know why this is happening, or I'm considering it a bit. I need guidance. Oh, yeah, I know. I feel you. I think that there is. So this is what I think. I think that. I think that you have healing stuff that needs to happen, right? Shadow work stuff that you have to confront. And because you need to do that healing, you're still stuck, in this. Let's use another analogy. I can't think of another analogy right now. But you're still stuck over here in the mud, and what you're wanting over here is like on this perfectly freshly paved road. You got to dig yourself out of the mud first, and digging out of the mud isn't just leaving the situation. It's healing it with the perspective shift at the same time, right? Because when we have the perspective shift, that's important, right? That's what gets us out. That's what got me out. But then I still have all of this stuff, all of this crap that has to get healed because of those situations. And like that's keeping me from being on the frequency that I want to be on to get the things that I want to get. So I hope that made sense. I guess my recommendation is sit down and do some shadow work. First question, the one that I just dealt with, is what is it that I feel guilty about? Like what do I feel like the most guilty about in life? And if that's not the question, find another one. There's lots of prompts for shadow work, but yeah. Yeah. What will we have? I think it might have cut off one of the messages. I see I'm in shock and I don't know why this is happening, or I'm considering it a bit. I need guidance. Help. And then I see to have me, or I don't know. Is anybody over? So it says somebody's over there, but I'm not sure who. So if you are over there and you wanted a question or something, let me know with your name. I'm going to start a series where I'm like, here is the shadow work prompt, you know, because like that's what these are supposed to be for, right? Like that's what the ritual is it's supposed to bring up a specific thing to work on, right? Like the shame card. But one of the reasons why I like to explain some of them as to what they really mean is because they're usually deeper than the ritual explains. I have a perfect example of this. And then Camille is going to be next if she's here. I just want to explain this real quick. Shit, I never even listened to your damn message. I'm sorry. I'm so bad at responding to people. Private message you. I need full reading. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I don't usually, but like I know you, so I will. I'm gonna say this because I think it's just us girls in here right now. I'm gonna say this. The reason why I don't do the privates anymore for almost anybody is, well, two reasons. One, I'm really bad at setting boundaries with time, and I feel bad telling people, okay, we're done. And then, but the bigger reason is that this was a while ago. I did one through video call with a guy and realized that he was doing something while on the call, and it made me feel and still makes me feel just nauseous and violated. So like I don't like to do private reads after that. It just gave me a lot of anxiety for obvious reasons. But anyway, I'll do yours because I know you. Okay, the last thing I was going to say really quick, and then Camille, you're next. Let me just explain this. So, when I'm talking, yeah. Oh, right, and I bring that up because he messaged me a couple of days ago asking for a private reading. And I was like, I thought I blocked this guy, but I immediately knew that it was him. And like my stomach dropped and I was like, I don't even have words. I don't have words. Anyways, so, right, the card. So the shadow work prompts or whatever in the cards, like the rituals they're great, you know, but like in general, it's just one aspect of doing that healing. It's supposed to bring it forward and give you an idea of what to work on. And the card dependency came up for someone not on TikTok, somebody that I know. And they just missed the assignment. They just did not understand. They did not understand because in that card, in the ritual, it talks about, you know, like delving into like your energy and like using your mind's eye to like find where that energy resides in your body, and you know, and like talk to it. Basically, is the point of the ritual. But the or I should say, it's what it tells you to do, anyways. But the underlying thing that you have to do when you're trying to work through codependency is figuring out, if they had read the rest of the damn card or the pages, whatever, you know, is figuring out what it is that you're attached to, digging into the why you're attached to it. You know, like, why am I attached to this? What is it, you know, that I am needing, but I feel like I have to source it from this thing or person. Usually it's a person, but not always. So it, and also the point in the ritual was to ask questions, you know, find where that energy is in your body and ask it the questions. And it's a very abstract concept, but like the point of that one was, you know, I guess to me it was obvious, but maybe some people it's not obvious. And that's not the one, you know, like that's not, you didn't get that card, but I'm just saying that like sometimes the exercise is not, it's not everything, you know, and it's also not going to work for everybody. So like the point is to dig into, like with research, like what you can do to work through that thing, not just, you know, and I don't think most people even go and do the ritual, honestly, which is fine, but okay, I'm going to get off my tangent about that. All right, Camille. But yeah, Liz, I'll check my messages. Like it should be a never-ending ritual. If I mean, to be fair, it is, shadow work and healing work, stuff like that. For the most part, it is a lifelong thing. I'm sure I will work through that thing again and again and again. Okay, can I get 4 cards for Camille, please? All right, good night. Okay. Are these all in the right direction? Thank you. Okay, Camille. So we've got Deceit and Independence are in reverse, and then Hope and Metamorphosis are upright. Sorry. These 2 cards, they mean codependency. So that's why I'm laughing. It's like these are, and it doesn't have to be on a person, can be on other things, but it just typically is a person. And then, like, the fact that the Hope and the Metamorphosis cards are upright, like, that's a good sign. Hold on a second, the puzzle piece. Okay, I hate that. It doesn't even work anyway. Like, it doesn't help anything. Looking at my mouse. She's sleeping. Okay. Right. Yeah, the Deceit and Independence they're usually about codependency. I think also, if the Deceit was upright, it's typically about, kind of us lying to ourselves. And then in reverse, it is usually talking about another person. So I'm thinking that either way, it's kind of coming in like there's some kind of toxic attachment that you're trying to, like, work through this energy. I don't know if they're still around or not, but, like, you're trying to move past this. But it's like this person has, I almost want to say, poisoned, like poisoned your mind and your perspective of yourself. Like, somebody has, like, I want to say, like, made you not trust yourself, for one. That's pretty typical when it's, and, like, I think that this also doesn't have to be, like, romantic. Codependency can be a lot of different things. Let me see. I feel like the other ones are going to give more insight as to what this is talking about. But I think that you have to, figure out who it is that you want to be, as, like, aside from what anybody else is telling you that you have to be, like, this feels deep. It feels like a pattern that's been there for a long time. I think you have been trying to work on it, which is why we've got the Hope and the Metamorphosis cards are upright. Those are definitely a good sign, the fact that they're upright. Like, you are working through this, but it's still very much embedded, I think. Yeah, that anything else? I'm hearing yelling. Like a memory. Maybe this is carried over even from, like, a different lifetime too. Like, I think it happened in this one, but I think it's happened before. Okay, let's see what these are saying. You still here, Camille? And it tells me that you're liking, but I can't tell for sure if it's happening now or not. Some kind of idea what they're talking about. Okay. Where's my case? This is making sense. This card. That card said exactly the same thing. Yeah. I was going to say, sometimes you're hard to read because you have your walls so high that, like you come and you're like, okay, tell me the things, right? You're like, okay, tell me the things. Wait. Don't look at the things. I'm just going to see the things. Like, the walls are so high. You got to take them down a little bit, right? You're going to have to let yourself feel your feelings, for one, which is what this card is talking about. Okay. This one is the emotion. I allow myself to feel all the emotion and energy in motion that flows through my body. I feel in order to reveal and heal. This hits so hard right now. Like, I could yeah. Okay. Anyways, you think emotion and like this gets tight. Like, I can feel it right now. Okay, from that, so push it away a little bit. Okay. The word emotion originates from the Latin ex movere, or to move out. Emotion is literally in motion. Energy in motion. A moving essence within us that is very much on purpose. We have likely heard or have been told this about ourselves of being too emotional, or that experiencing too much emotion keeps us in a bad or negative place. Emotions are great teachers. They're a way for us to move energy, to learn about ourselves, and to notice a visceral sensation within us of something that is calling for change or awareness. When we feel an emotion rise forward and don't know what to do with it, don't have time to deal with it, or somehow desire it to be different, so we push it away, we stop that energy from moving its motion and it begins building up. Unexpressed anger can turn into rage, unfelt sadness can turn into despair, and untapped joy can get buried, creating blockages from repressed emotions that we didn't allow to be felt. To not feel our emotions is to deny ourselves wholeness. Notice any times of trying to push something down only for it to keep persisting. Allow emotion to move through. Grief can teach about acceptance and resilience. Sadness can teach about loss and desires. And anger can teach us what we are passionate about. Allow some gratitude for any emotions that are wanting to flow. And the questions: what are some emotions that are coming up for me to feel? What times have I stopped myself from feeling my feelings? And what are some emotions that I don't want to feel, and why? And then the ritual. I really like this one. Enter into an empty bath, alternately hands in a sink. Turn on the faucet. Imagine each drop of water as a representation of your emotions. Watch as the water pours out and fills all the space around you. Sit in the fullness of your emotions. No salt, bubbles, or making it pretty. Feel what comes up. Steep in the truth of your emotions. Ask them to reveal hidden insight. Allow yourself to release anything that is bound up emotionally. Stay in the bath and release the drain. Feel as the water drains away heavy emotional buildup as it leaves. I want to say something else. If you are like me and you have a really hard time pulling up the emotions or keeping them there, because like I start to feel a thing and then like just naturally like dissociate. So push it in the back. Go away. Don't feel it. And it's not a conscious thing. It's hard for me to sit in that energy. And So one way that I am able to do that is with music. If you can find a song that feels like what you're trying to feel and you just listen on repeat for 20 minutes, like you can pull that up and be able to stay in that, you know what I mean? Stay in that long enough to feel the feeling. That's honestly, that is like the only way. It's like the only way that I can stay there, because otherwise it's just instinctively, as a survival mechanism, instinctively it just gets shut off. Okay. Last one is Bury Your Dead. Hey, hi Kathleen, how are you? Yeah, the song, she says she does the song repeat thing too. It's very helpful. There's one in my head right now. Okay, anyways. Bury your dead. This moment asks you to let go. Sometimes you just need to bury your dead, rather than hanging on to what is no longer vital. When a dream dies or a plan fails or a relationship ends, there must be grief before closure. Otherwise, you cling to what no longer has life force. Your own attachment becomes a burden, draining you of your vital energy and lifeblood. Do what you must to honor the passing. Create a ceremony, shape a memorial, enact a ritual, even though it can be the toughest thing to hear ever. This passing is happening for you, not to you. Trust that. Whatever helps you separate from the ending and turn toward your new beginning is what you need right now. I keep coming back to that freaking thing I did yesterday. Because honestly, like, holding on to guilt from the decisions that we've made that kept us in bad spots is so common, like it's so common. And I want to say it's like one of the last things that gets healed, right? Because we think we deserve to feel that way. So I don't know if it's necessarily that specifically, but I think that another thing that you can do that, like, I know that, doing this, great way to release emotions. I really like that ritual. Another thing though is like, write a letter to yourself. Like, think back to the situation that you were in, that the emotion immediately makes you think of. Like, think back to, maybe not if it's like a significant trauma, maybe don't that, but like smaller situations, and write a letter to the version of you that was there, and just see what comes up. Like, you can do the forgiveness thing, you can just do it as an objective thing. Like, it's just a thought. It's a thought. I've done that before too. That is also, I feel like crying tonight. Because that'll do it. Okay. I hope that was helpful. I'm intense tonight. My chest is killing me again. Man, like, yeah. Cool. You'll have to let me know how it goes. Kathleen, did you want on the list? You are very welcome. I've read for you so many times, and like every time it was almost like, we're almost there, and it just wasn't time to push yet. This was the time when I was like, call her out. Gotta let the walls down, bro. Okay, Amanda, is Amanda here? All right, I'm gonna read my list. Okay. Amanda said she was coming back. I don't know if she's back yet, but so then I've got Jenny, and then I don't know if Jada is still over here or not. I think that's Kathleen. Oh, ha! I caught it. You're welcome. Looking for a lighthearted read on a situation that I have been into in a bunch of shallow the past few days. Nice. Okay, I'll write you down, Kathleen. All right, Jenny, are you here? Yes. Okay. All right. I'm going to do yours. All right. So I'm on Jenny. I don't think Jada is over there. So got Jenny and then Kathleen. You're going to be after Jada. All right. Can I get 4 cards for Jenny, please? That's 2 cards. Okay. Guess that one was important. They were like, no, this one. I've been thinking about doing like a support group thing, but I have to be careful because I don't want to get like sued potentially because I don't have like a license. I'm not like a licensed therapist or anything. I almost did that. For anybody who doesn't know that, I've talked about it before, but like I was going to school for it, and then things ended up working out differently, and now I'm here, and this is infinitely better. All right, okay, let me do some. These are all for Jenny. Go in the right direction. Just feeling this like something different tonight, and I think it's me. Like I think that it's because of the shadow work thing. I feel different. Yeah. I don't want to get in trouble. So if I did that, I would have to have like some kind of disclaimer agreement or something. It is the new moon. You're right. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Anybody that wants to do new moon ritual stuff, it is the new moon. Nice. Kathleen did a spiritual herb bath. Nice. I need to cleanse my house. That's what I need to do. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm trying to read it out loud. Okay. She said, take a spiritual bath with rue, hyssop, and salt. I hesitate. I have a reaction to rue. Like it can be a skin irritant, and it definitely irritates mine. But there are lots of options. Yeah. Like I know I have all of those things. You should see my drawers. Okay. It's ridiculous. Okay. All right. Let me focus. We got patience is upright, independence is in reverse, determination and guardianship are upright. I just wish you would step into your own power, Jim, because there's so much of it. And it's like, you're sitting here patiently waiting shit to change while you're sitting over here like, I don't even know who I am. I don't really know what I want. I want to be happy, right? That's, it's a fair thing to say, like when somebody like, what do you want? I just want to be happy. Well, I mean, yeah. But at the same time, what is going to make you happy? Hi, Regina. What's going to make you happy, right? Because when you start to put your determination, if you have to put this drive that you have into yourself and into goals that you set, that's when things change. Guardianship card. I feel like there's a few things. I mean, I feel like it's, you have people on your side, like even if it's just spirit team and my stubborn ass, you're like, you have people on your side. But you've got to sit down and you've got to figure out what it is that you want. What are the goals? Usually when you go to therapy, they ask you, I'm going to throw my phone. Second. Sorry. My bad. Okay, I gotta turn this down. Okay, sorry. Anyways, right. Usually they're like, what are your goals? Like, what are you wanting to get out of this? Right. At least that's what pretty much every decent therapist I've ever had has started with. One second, I'm listening. Yeah, to help regulate my emotions, I've been doing better with expressing them, and he's doing good reciprocating that. That's good. Then I guess I would say, yeah, I would say if that's, I think that your goal definitely needs to be finding you, right? Like, aside from everything else, aside from, like, you have all of the titles, right? Like, we all have, like, our different roles that we play in life, right? Like, you're the wife and the mom and, and the daughter and the granddaughter and the whatever, we all have that, who we are in relation to other people. But you need to figure out who you are for yourself aside from everybody else, right? Like, so learning how to communicate what you are feeling is great. That's a great first step, because it means you're not invalidating yourself, which means that you're not just stuffing it down and putting on the face and pretending things are fine. I've never felt complete with him, and that's why I always went searching for more. That's fair. Yeah, Regina, that's fine. It's toxic of me. I need to work on that. Yeah, I think that you're much stronger than you think you are. And I think that you're focused, which I told you a long time ago, that you needed to work on you. You need to focus on finding who you are. Okay, let's go to these and see what we got. Okay, can I get a card for dinner, please? This isn't supposed to be. That's one of the reasons why I was saying that you should leave. If you were going to leave, you should leave for you and not for someone else. This is for Jenny. Everybody needs to just, go and make that your goal for this weekend. Sit down and write a letter to yourself, to some younger version of you. Whether it's like a year ago, 10 years ago, teenage self, little kid self, whatever. Like, write a letter to you. Whatever that brings up. Whether it's trying to give words that are encouraging, or passing on wisdom to your younger self, or, reminding yourself that the things that are going on at that point in time were temporary, that kind of stuff. Okay. Let's feel. I always feel like there's no other way out because that's what I did with Brad. He saved me from my dad. I'm just like, oh shit, okay. I'm just searching for someone to save me. Oh, God. I feel you. There's a song in my head right now. I don't know who's in here. Hold on a second. I don't know if I can play it without YouTube will for sure kick it off, but I might read the words. Oh God, I haven't listened to this in years, but it was one of my songs after a breakup for sure. God, this guy treated me like crap too. So it's White Horse by Taylor Swift. I'm not going to play the song because one, it probably won't even pick up right on there, and two, YouTube might kick me off. um, TikTok's a little slower on the copyright thing unless somebody actually reports it. Um, or if you're posting the video, then they'll pick up on it. Okay. Anyway, so it's White Horse by Taylor Swift. Say you're sorry. That face of an angel comes out just when you need it to. As I paced back and forth all this time, because I honestly believed in you. Holding on, the days drag on. Stupid girl, I should have known. I should have known that I'm not a princess. This ain't a fairy tale. I'm not the one you'll sweep off her feet, lead her up the stairwell. This ain't Hollywood. This is a small town. I was a dreamer before. You went and let me down. Uh, now it's too late for now it's too late for you and your white horse to come around. Maybe I was naive, got lost in your eyes, and never really had a chance. My mistake. I didn't know to be in love. You had to fight to have the upper hand. That one gets me. I had so many dreams about you and me, happy endings. Now I know I'm not the princess. This ain't a fairy tale. I'm not the one you'll sweep off her feet, lead her up the stairwell. This ain't Hollywood. This is a small town. I was a dreamer before you went and let me down. Now it's too late for you and your white horse to come around. And there you are on your knees, begging for forgiveness, begging for me, just like I always wanted. But I'm so sorry, because I'm not your princess. This ain't a fairy tale. I'm going to find someone someday who might actually treat me well. This is a big world. That was a small town. There in the rear view mirror disappearing now, and it's too late for you and your white horse to catch me now. Gets me, man. I haven't listened to that in years. But I like heard it when you were saying that. I heard it. Hi, Eli. Okay, all right. This one, jeez Louise, we are all over the place tonight. Although, is that really any different than usual? Thank you. It wasn't mine. It's a Taylor Swift song, but it was a song that I played a lot after a breakup in high school. But it's a good song. Okay. This one is Self Embrace. Self Embrace. I embrace all the layers that make me who I am. I wrap myself in a loving embrace. We all have parts of ourselves that can feel difficult to embrace. Perhaps we have chapters in our stories that we aren't as proud of, or feelings of shame about who we have been. This really comes back to what I was saying earlier about writing that part for the course. Yeah. About writing. Shut up, Eli. He said a song from Satan. Okay. Anyways, oh, right. When I was saying that I wrote that thing about like guilt and forgiving myself and everything. It's a lot of that coming back tonight. Okay. Perhaps we have chapters in our stories that we aren't as proud of, or feelings of shame about who we have been. Perhaps we have habits or patterns that we don't prefer. Maybe we've had traumas or experiences that have made us question our worthiness, our beauty, and our own identity. Whatever our unique story is, to love and embrace all of ourselves without wavering is not an easy feat. We don't have to like everything that we do, and we can certainly have a desire to grow, expand, heal, and create more healthful patterns for our lives. And still, to embrace all the layers of who we are is a most loving homecoming. To embrace is to simply wrap our arms around. Can we wrap our arms around ourselves? Can we be more willing to wrap our arms around the parts of ourselves that need a bit more love? If someone we cared about were to come up to us with something difficult that they were going through, would we embrace them or reject them? It is time for a more embracing of all that we are. Think about how you meet parts of yourself that feel challenging to embrace or accept. Reflect on how you can be open to growth without rejecting or banishing parts of yourself altogether. Oh, I was going to say, probably. I wasn't looking. Definitely possibility. I didn't say this earlier. I just thought about it again. But when we talk about doing healing work, or we talk about doing, like changing in general, right? We're saying, "Oh, I'm letting that go," but we have to. I think. How do I put this? I had it and it's gone now. Oh, we can't be throwing away pieces of ourselves, right? Like, letting go of something is more like I let go of the shame and the guilt that I feel around this. I don't let go of the part of myself that feels that way. Does that make sense? Because there's a difference. All right, pushing away a piece is not healing. Okay, the questions. What parts of myself do I feel are hardest to embrace? What parts of myself do I feel fear are unlovable, and why? How can I embrace myself more fully and unconditionally? And then the ritual. Gather a piece of paper and something to write with. Set a timer for 5 minutes to free flow write, unedited, unrefined, raw flow with the prompt, the part of myself that feels difficult to embrace. We're all writing tonight, I think. I'm talking to her. She's just not giving her health. I think that's a very good point. Very good point. I think if you're feeling like that's an unhealthy connection, it's an unhealthy connection. And from what I saw, forcing you back into a relationship that you straight up said you didn't want to be in anymore, that's pretty toxic. Hello. Yeah, you can comment your name and I'll put you on the list. I've just got I've got this one, and then I have Kathleen's. Okay. Right, where was I? Take a deep breath, notice what you feel. Read what you wrote out loud with compassion and free from judgment. Stand up, close your eyes, wrap yourself with your own arms in a compassionate hug. Bring some gentle rocking movement into the body as you hold yourself in a repatterning self-embrace. Give yourself words of love, acceptance, encouragement, and gratitude. And you know what? I think if your first thought when you think that is, this is stupid, I think that says something. Like it says, like, why? Like why is giving myself a hug? Why does that feel uncomfortable? Just saying. Okay, one more card, and then I've got Kathleen after this card. I need to check something really quick. Give me 1 second. God, that song's stuck in my head now. Oh, sweet. Okay. All right. This one is, you were probably in here a minute ago when it came out, but here's your do-over. Failure is a chimera. Part beast, part blessing, it lurks just beyond our greatest plans, terrifying us. But when we're willing to fail, that toothsome chimera can become our ally. When we dare to befriend what we fear most, we become resilient, fierce. When failure threatens to overcome you, its bite tries to convince you you're dying, but it's lying. Your soul is forged of lightning and stardust, and it cannot be destroyed. But only you can prove this truth to yourself by getting back up after failure. Insist on remembering who you really are and what you are really made of. There is magic in the wake of a fiasco, and failure gifts us with a chance to refine your plans. Any path that leads astray shows us how to find a better way. When we embrace failure, we tame the beasts that once terrified us. Oh my goodness. I think the older that, they say we can't teach old dogs new tricks. I think, I think that it's sort of true in that, like, once we've done something for so long, it's even harder to break ourselves out of that pattern. I think you can do it. Just take some work. All right, Kathleen, you ready? I'm still laughing at Eli's song from Satan. He hates Taylor Swift for some friggin' reason. I don't know. You're welcome. Kathleen, are you here? Wait a second, because YouTube's usually a minute or so behind. Well, okay. I forgot to write down Regina. All right, Regina, what was the question about your friend? And then I don't know where Kathleen is, but answer Regina's question. And then if Kathleen's here, she's next. If she's not here, you're next. Is it Tiara? Oh, she's back. Okay. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Let me see what Regina's question is. Regina! There we go. Okay. Ooh, okay. All right, I'll see what they say, but that's. I guess my question to your question is, what makes you ask that question? Yes. No. Straight up gave me the note card. No. No, because there's somebody else. That was fast. Why did I need this? That's just not his person. Like, there's somebody else is going to come into the picture. I don't know exactly how soon, but. All right, Kathleen. So I think what I'm going to do is, I'm Sassifer. Yeah, you're welcome. I won't, since you've been doing shadow work, I'm not going to do those cards. I'm going to do these. Okay. What does Kathleen need to know? Where did the card go? Tried to go on the floor. That's where. Oh, ha! It is for the question. Answer the question. I don't think they do. Okay, I didn't ask the question, so let me ask the question. Alright, let's mark the It is about how he is seeing her. It's about how he, what is about him in general. Yeah. He has a lot of mental barriers. Like this card in reverse is like overthinking or anxiety, and then stagnation in reverse is being stuck, right? So say like mentally, like he has a lot of things that he's still trying to heal. And then new opportunities is in reverse. So I don't think he's ready for any kind of like real attachment. But I'm gonna see what this say quick. Yeah, there's more about Kathleen. Oh, dude, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Codependence. Like I think this is yikes. Okay. Can you say truck full of red flags for me? Truck full of red flags. Yeah. This would be a really not great. Would be a really not good idea. Like really not good. Yeah. So there's. This is a lesson. Well, it's a test that could be a lesson if you don't like, do something differently. This is like, hold on. All right, this is about Kathleen and Mark's like future relationship. You're saying, and I was getting it with the other deck too. It's like people don't always show you, to start with, which one of these cards says that. Like this one, Hand of Cards, this one is about somebody not, not showing you who they really are. But it's like the addiction card, which is codependency, somebody that's possessive or controlling. And then there's the chaser, which is also a codependency card, with massive abandonment issues. Then there's this one, which is that, like, not showing you. Seduction, because you don't, when you're like super attracted to someone, you're not thinking like that. This is the, like, why is codependent coming up? That's just what's coming up about him. I think that this, the clarity card, they're just trying to warn you, because then the last card is the Grim Reaper card, which is like, it's just a big breakup, basically. There's a decent, people aren't like this for no reason. No, it's not. Okay, let me just slow down. This is how he is right now. Like, he has stuff that he has not worked through. Codependency comes from a massive fear of abandonment, right? And, well, partially from a massive fear of abandonment, and then also partially because you don't know where to source your fulfillment other than finding someone or something to draw that from. You don't have it in yourself. So, like, it just seems like that's the pattern that he has. And those kinds of relationships, they don't look like that at the very beginning. My friend is in one. I've been in them. Seems totally fine. Mine was fine for a freaking year. And hers was fine for like 6 months. And then all of a sudden now, like, the codependency it's a lot. So, like, no, I don't think he is, like, I don't think he's planning it, is what I mean. Like, I don't think he's plotting it. I think that that's just how he is, because he needs to heal and, like, have the perspective shift and the personal growth, etc. And so, no, I don't think he's, like, planning it. Like, oh, I'm going to get her, and then I'm going to be codependent, and I'm going to make her be trapped with me. I don't think that's what he's doing. I think that that's just what will happen. But you do with that information what you will, If any of those cards were positive, I would say maybe it was, maybe it was about somebody, like a different relationship, you know what I mean? Like a different relationship of yours or his or whatever, but none of those cards were good. All right, I'm gonna do these two. Neither of these are like these aren't really shadow cards, and the other ones are like hopeful. Just trust your gut, dude. I'm not saying you can't be friends with him, hang out with him, whatever, build something. Just trust your gut. Woo. Why does everybody do this to me? Okay, I can tell you how he feels because I can feel it. I just figured I would give you the information that was necessary in order to keep you from getting hurt. But he likes you. Like, there is an intense, I think you even said it a second ago. Like, there is an intensity to the connection right now. Codependency makes even more sense when I'm looking at this, because, like, of course it's an intense connection because he's getting what he needs from you. He's getting that emotional hit. You know what I mean? So, like, it's going to feel good to both of you right now, and then eventually it becomes too much. So, he likes you. It will turn into something, like, we'll say, imbalanced. obsession would be the accurate word, but like my friend's boyfriend, I don't doubt that he loves her, right? So codependent doesn't necessarily mean like they're trying to sabotage your whole life or they're just this evil narcissistic piece of crap. Like that's not what it means, but it does mean that it's going to be a struggle of a relationship that's constantly draining you unless that person changes. And like breaking free of codependent patterns is hard. You know, like there were definitely points in my life where I was very codependent. And like I am not like that anymore, but it takes a lot of work. Nice. Okay, can I get a card for Kathleen, please? That's my favorite card. My favorite card. Maybe in any of my decks, honestly. Oh, okay. Let me do this one first. I'm gonna say, like, don't get negative, okay? Don't, like, get in your head, like, well, I'm just not gonna find anybody, or, you know, like, there's something wrong with you, or anything like that, okay? Like, if this is the person, he'll do the healing, and he'll have the personal growth, and then things will adjust, right? This isn't a you problem. All right, this one is, quite the anxiety monster. Sorry that it's not that well lit. All right. There's someone who acts like he's too close to be a partner, so it's good to know. Yeah. You know why? You know why he's always busy? He keeps himself busy because he doesn't want to be alone. He doesn't want to have time to think. He needs, he needs to be busy because he doesn't like to be by himself. All right, quiet the anxiety monster. Oh man, my back is freaking killing me. All right. Moments of anxiety, stress, and overwhelm are like heavy rocks landing in your life in places you don't necessarily want them. You don't have to entertain them or make them worse by asking, "What's wrong with me?" Nothing is wrong with you. Any unsupportive, unloving reactions towards yourself in times of stress is a direct result of trauma. Excuse me. Like a heavy stone, it will weigh you down. Your rocky thoughts are not your responsibility. Thoughts happen. They tumble and jumble of their own accord. Your responsibility is what you do with them. When you focus on what's wrong with a sense of fear, lack, or incapability, you pile heavy boulders onto an already burdened psyche. Right now, you're being asked to consider all the situations where you succeeded, accomplished, or surprised yourself. That same energy is available to you now, but only if you stop carrying those bolder thoughts on your shoulders. Hello. Yes, give me just a second. Okay, we got one more. So I am finishing with Kathleen, and then I've got Tiara after Kathleen, and then if you want to comment, is it Crystal? Like 6 days a week. Yeah. Wrong book. Hold on. Oh, there it is. I haven't read this card in a minute, because I haven't read from this deck in a minute. Okay. I think that my cushion in my seat is like starting to sink, and so it's making my back sit at a very uncomfortable level. Okay. Anyways, this is my favorite. Maybe in existence. This is Blessing of the Unseelie. All right. The fairy gift of following your true heart from the worthy rebels of the Unseelie court. The gift of the Unseelie is the gift of the rebellious one, the one who defies and who does not go with the flow. In fairy lore, the Unseelie are sometimes considered dangerous, but their blessing is this: you are not born to appease and to concede, to give way always before the forces that consume and control. You were born to be free, to decide who you are meant to be for yourself, and the Unseelie's gift and blessing to you is that reminder. And this means that in this moment, there is something you must say no to. Say no to the forces that would ask you to do something that you feel is wrong. Say no to staying quiet when there is an injustice. Say no to going along, to getting along, and stand alone if you must in the renegade nature of the Unseelie. It is a strange gift, a weird blessing to be sure, but in its way, it is an energy of rebellion and courage and defiance but is not born out of any desire to be unkind. In fact, it is born out of the desire to be kind to your truest self and to create space and room for you to breathe and be free. With this blessing, you will now say no. You will take a stand. You will find a new path and be true to yourself. And while you may be called disruptive or difficult, know that these labels are only given when you can no longer be controlled. So much. It's like my favorite sentence. Okay. He has made me feel like he took me for granted in the past, so I'm cautious. Yeah, that's even more of a red flag. Yeah, dude. You already know. You already know in your gut, or you wouldn't ask. I know. I got you. All right, is Tiara here? So I've got Tiara, and then Crystal on here next after if Tiara's here. Wow, I wrote your name so pretty. All the rest of them look terrible. That was weird. You get some sort of sleep. Oh, okay. I know I'm overthinking sometimes, but what should spirit suggest I do now to suit this? What energy is blocking me from resetting and falling asleep? That's a great question. You're welcome. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Take an agate. I get 4 cards for Tiara. See what's going on with the sleep situation. Oh my goodness. Okay. Cord keeps catching on everything. It's driving me nuts. Whoa. That was weird. Okay, sorry. Thank you. Interesting. Okay, so you're new here. We talk about this a lot. So I'll tell you what the cards are. So we've got higher perspective, home, intelligence, and then an ending, which is generally like the cycles card, and it's in reverse. So you're working on this this higher perspective, this I'm gonna say like personal spiritual growth thing, right? Like, you're trying to elevate past the person that you have been previously. The home card talks about like foundational stuff. Sometimes it means literally home, but almost all the time it's talking about more like foundations, like childhood and stuff like that. Intelligence card is pretty much everything to do with the mind. So it seems like you got a lot on your mind because you're trying to do this. So it's kind of like you've opened yourself up to all the information, right? To the connection, spiritual connection, and to getting the information from your guides and, that kind of stuff. You've opened yourself up to that. And you don't know when to shut it off. Part of this, so it's like some of this is things that are coming up, right? Things that are being brought up that you need to work on, even if it's just coming up as a feeling and an energy and you're not really sure exactly what it is. Like, it's things that you are needing to work through. And so part of what's going to fix it is starting to do shadow work if you haven't done that. This is another thing that makes me think that it's like maybe childhood, like trauma cycle, something like that related. And in reverse, it's usually talking about a cycle that needs to be broken. Now, I will say that, like with these two, this is very much this is very much influencing this. Like, whatever this cycle is that you are needing to break, like that's what's causing the circular thoughts. That's what's causing like the anxiety and the whatever it is that you're thinking about that you're trying not to think about. And I'll give you a shadow card and stuff to give you some indication on what it is. But I will say that the two things that you're going to have to do if you want it to stop is you're going to have to start doing shadow work, right? You have to figure out like what this cycle is, or cycles, like what this is that needs to get worked through, what needs to get healed. So there's that aspect of it. And then there's you need to create some kind of like routine around bedtime that's going to involve like something for grounding, right? Like where you're able to just get tuned in with just your energy, with just the present in your physical surroundings, so that you're not like tapped in like a beacon, because I think that's part of what's happening, especially because this one came out first. Like, I think part of what's happening is, you've opened yourself up to doing this work, and so you're tapped in like a beacon and you don't know how to rein it back in. One of the things that I need to do a video on this. I've been thinking about it. I haven't done it. But one of the ways that I describe this. So physical grounding is really easy. Like, you can Google grounding techniques. Like, there's a lot. And, like, it's generally about, noticing physical sensations. So like there's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, which is like, 5 things I can see, 4 things I can hear, 3 things I can feel, whatever, you go through the senses. And then, hi, Keenan. And then, right. And that there are other grounding methods. That's just the first one that like I was ever taught. Okay, so there's that grounding, right? And then there is like spiritual, energetic, psychic type grounding. And the best way that I can explain that is be a tree. So you want to get like, sit down, sit up straight. You could do it standing if you want to, but like sit up straight. Imagine that there are roots that are coming out of like, base of your spine, which is where your root chakra is, like base of your spine. If you're standing, you can do it out your feet, but there's just roots that are coming down, out, like visualize this, okay? Going down, out into the ground, and sit with that for a minute. And then, then slowly you can kind of like connect. Again, we're visualizing. If you're certain psychics can see the energy, but if you can't, then you can just visualize it. Anyway, so you're pulling that energy up, right? What's happening with you, this happens a lot, is because you're tapped in, you've got your crown like open all the time, and there's nowhere for this energy that's coming down into you to go. So you've got to connect the roots upwards, and then you've got the branches, they're out already, pretty much, right? So, just pull that energy up, and you can imagine the branches, they're already there. Not everybody's is there, but anyways, they're already there. So you want to connect that energy so you can feel that flow through like naturally. That will probably all self-help. But the main point is you got to do some kind of bedtime routine that's going to have grounding, especially physical grounding involved, because it's gonna calm the energy and also calm your thoughts. Some people do this with meditation, guided meditation stuff. That's fine too. But somebody's thumping around over there. Okay, let me give you the other two, so we can figure out what it is that your shadow work thing might be talking about. All right, can I get a card for Tiara, please? This second time this one's come out tonight. Can I get a card too, please? Not that one. Can't read that one on live. I'll get in trouble. That one I can. Been waiting for that one to come out tonight. It usually does at some point. If any of this is like not making any sense, you can tell me. You're welcome. Do you want these other two, or are you saying you're going to bed? Okay, all right. Okay, I'm just checking. Okay, so this one's a little rough. Aw. I'm gonna try to do a thing where I post these in shorts, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Anyways, some people like to screen record these ones. I also, if the pinned post or whatever, it should. Oh, I don't know if it has the number on there. Usually, I say that people can text me if they want a picture of the card and stuff, but I guess we'll see. I'm just gonna read it. Okay, so this one is shame. All right. I shine the light of liberation and acceptance into my hidden corners. I am not alone. I am worthy of love as I am. It is almost certain that at some point in our lives we have felt shamed or feel shamed, humiliated, embarrassed, wronged, or made to feel like a fool, simply for being ourselves or sharing our truth. Feeling shamed is so powerful because it is tied to one of our fundamental desires as humans, belonging. Shame can bring along feelings of not being worthy of love or acceptance and fear of being outcast. To avoid feelings of shame, one might hide, reject, change who they are, lie about what they feel or have done, isolate themselves, or put on a false image to save face. Unfortunately, shame grows in isolation. Shame is one of those spiraling energies. When we feel shame, we hide. When we hide, we feel like we've done something wrong. So we hide more. We feel isolated, which makes us feel more unworthy of love and understanding. Then we don't share what feels difficult, so we don't hear others talking about it. On we spiral. Consider courageous sharing and vulnerability as an antidote to shame. When shame is shared in a safe space and held without judgment, it has nowhere to hide and it loses power. Think about any bits of shame you keep hidden. Feel how to create safer spaces for your shame to be shared and held. And the question is to ask yourself, what do I feel shameful about that spirals within me? How can I share my shame so it no longer can hide? And how do I shame others, which creates a shame spiral for myself? And then the ritual, which is it's like a therapy exercise. Gather a flashlight and head to a safe, quiet space. Shame likes to stay silent and hidden. Sharing it and seeing it can help some of its timidity fall away. On your own or with a trusted friend, speak your shame. Share it and speak it. Set a timer for 3 minutes. Close your eyes so shame can feel a little safer. And speak free flow, raw and real, telling your story by speaking, I feel shame around. Then hold the flashlight up to a part of your body where you feel the shame hiding and say, I see you. You are still worthy of love. I am here. Breathe into the shame and watch it feel relieved by being seen. That one. That one is that was a lot. Okay, let's see. What's one more? Alright. This one is Bury Your Dead. Oh, so much fun. Oh god, I can't wait. I feel you. I write. Like, yeah, I write, especially with things that I'm just not ready to share it with another person. You know, like sometimes just writing it out is enough. Okay, Bury Your Dead. This moment asks you to let go. Sometimes you just need to bury your dead, rather than hanging on to what is no longer vital. When a dream dies or a plan fails or a relationship ends, there must be grief before closure. Otherwise, we cling to what no longer has life force. Your own attachment becomes a burden, draining you of your vital energy and lifeblood. Do what you must to honor the passing. Create a ceremony, shape a memorial, enact a ritual. Even though it can be the toughest thing to hear ever, this passing is happening for you, not to you. Trust that. Whatever helps you separate from the ending and turn toward your new beginning is what you need right now. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, where's the cards? There we go. Anyways, I hope that was helpful. I'm typically on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at like 11:45 Eastern time is when I usually get on, and then I'm most of the time I'm on for at least a couple hours. Just depends on how busy it is. Oh, you're very welcome. All right. Okay, Crystal, you said I don't have the freaking mouse, so I can't look. Okay, all right. Okay, can I get 4 cards for Crystal, please? 3. Yeah, the shame card is, I think, one of the most challenging topics. Which, you know, fair. Yeah. Slash warning, I'm not turning myself up. Oh. Cool. You're very welcome. I hope that, I hope that all that ends up working out. I hope that, I hope that the right person shows up in the near future. All right, are these for Crystal? Down the right direction. Just gotten into the habit of doing that. I don't really guess I actually need to, but. So typically what my readings do is they're guide messages. So it's like, this is what's going on, and this is, like, sometimes it's like, okay, this is what's coming, and you'll see what I mean. Good night, Kathleen. All right, so we got strength in reverse, happiness upright, healing in reverse, and guardianship upright. This is interesting. Okay. I don't think it's the first time I've said that tonight. We have a joke on my TikTok that you could make a drinking game out of how often I say interesting. Like, and you would probably be dead before the end of the live. But I haven't said it actually yet tonight, I don't think. It feels like a mask. It almost feels like you're, I want to say, trying to convince yourself like that you're happy. And so you're focusing on the, like the things that you do, that you have to be happy about. Um, but you're like guarding yourself from feeling the things that aren't great to feel. You're like pushing it away, which is preventing you from healing because it's almost like you have to understand there's a balance between oh, yeah, it's you have to find the balance between pulling up the things that need to be worked through and also coming back to that, that centered point, right? There's one of the cards, one of my shadow cards, that I think it's the sadness card, and it talks about how we're all taught that happiness is the emotion by which all other emotions should be compared, and how unrealistic that is, right? Like, obviously, we want to feel happy, but there's a lot of other emotions to be felt that are just as valid, real, and like even feel good. But like, we have this idea that we're all, raised to believe through whether it's family or society or both. Like, we're all raised to think that like, happiness is the goal, that we should be happy all the time, and that's totally not. It's not possible for one. So if you think you're happy all the time, you're lying to yourself. um, so this is what I think. I'm gonna check the other ones, or gonna pull the other two, but you can't be afraid to feel the other things. Like if you open that door, that all of a sudden the happy doesn't matter anymore. And I don't think that the things that you have to be happy about are like fake, or like that you shouldn't be happy about those things or whatever. Like, I'm not saying you should lean into misery. I'm just saying that there's things that need to be healed, and we can't heal if we will only lean into the emotions that feel good. So the guardianship card was making me think very much like your put up the walls around the emotions so only the ones you like come through. Okay, let's see what these say. Yeah, they don't always come. They don't always come through like the guide messages or whatever. They don't always necessarily come through with like, you know, oh, this is going to happen, next week or this year or whatever. It's like it's whatever they think that you need to know, which is going to help move you along on your path so that you can get the things that you want. Okay, can I get a card for Crystal, please? Wow. Okay. You'll get used to that too. if you come back often. I'm like, I got a card and then I'm just laughing because it's saying exactly what I just said. Sometimes at an inappropriate moment. Like, sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at them because of the cards. Okay, can I get a card for Crystal, please? Hi, Charles. Where did they go? Oh. Man, okay. I know, I do that. Everybody's like, oh God, I don't like that. uh, I'm doing all right. Charles, how are you? All right, this one is fear. Fear. All right. I release myself from being bound by my own fears. I walk in liberation, untethered and free. Desiring to get rid of fear is an endless internal battle that we cannot win. Fear is a vital response that protects us from legitimate harm. Our fears are designed to keep us safe, responsive, and alert. Excuse me. They are a natural part of our brain's ongoing, highly intelligent discernment and analysis system. To get rid of fear itself would not serve our highest good. Fear is so visceral and biochemical, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, fatigue, that it can create a binding up within our physical, energetic, and emotional bodies. We can become attached to this pattern energetically and quite literally be hostages to the patterns of our fears, bound within our own bodies. When we witness the pattern arising, we can invite ourselves into deeper awareness. Once we see the shackles with which we have bound ourselves, perhaps to keep ourselves safe at one point, we can lay them down and step towards liberation. Befriend your fears. Get to know them. Ask them why they are there. Thank them for protecting you. Take them by the hand and let them know it is safer than they think to move forward. Start with fears that feel the least binding and get comfortable with showing them other possibilities. Then keep moving forward. Remind yourself that the fears don't actually need to leave. They can stay. They just don't get to run the show. And then the questions. What fears are not a likely threat that can be released? Where have I allowed myself to be bound up by my own fears? And what sensations do I notice when filled with fear? And then the ritual, which is a therapy exercise. Okay. Sit in front of a mirror. Imagine your body, the one looking into the mirror, as you. Imagine the reflection you see looking back at you from the mirror as a dear friend who is coming to you to share their deepest truth. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Speak out loud if possible. As many layers of fear as you can. No self-editing or crafting a story. Share unabashedly and freely from the raw fear itself. Listen to understand. Hear parts you haven't heard before. Don't validate or invalidate the fears, just listen. Thank yourself for sharing and notice what you notice and how you feel. That one is also scary. Okay, yes. Oh, okay, let's see. I actually started to change the mindset and such. I guess that's why it's showing up in the cards as a lie to myself, but I would like to know your opinion on it as a meaning. Oh, that was good. I just want to just do that in front of a mirror. That's just one option, you know? It's like, it's one option. I don't like mirrors. They creep me out. So, I come back to the whole, like, writing things out. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I come back to it. Like, journaling is really good for shadow work because it's getting it out of you, and you can write it down without, like, do the same thing it was talking about talking, right? Free flow, write it, and then, like, read it. But, like, when you read it from that perspective, like it was talking about how, it was saying, I wish I had the book still. But I think it was saying the version in the mirror was your friend, right? And you're talking to your friend. So write the thing like you're writing it to a friend, and when you read it back like it's like you're someone else that's reading it. That makes sense. Okay. The point is to just investigate it objectively. And then change mindset, so I guess that's why. Nice. Yeah, I would say, okay, hold on. Let's do this. You're the last person on this one. It doesn't matter. 11 mirrors, they deflect bad juju. That's debatable. If they're locked, maybe. Right. So, I have spell work stuff that I do, and then I also have a shadow work journal. And so, like, you know, they're two. Say they're two sides of the same coin, kind of, right? Like, we want to work through the stuff, we want to work through the painful stuff that needs to be healed, right? We also want to find our goals and our dreams and the things that we're wanting to bring into our life at the same time, right? So there's kind of a balance between the two. Because if you just focus on shadow work constantly and you're not thinking about anything now, you're going to pull yourself into a hole. So I think that the manifesting thing is definitely a good idea. But I do think that some of this stuff is going to have to get worked through, maybe in a separate journal, to start thinking about some of the not great things that need to get healed. And then, okay, let me read the other question because I forgot what it was. Okay, let's see. Or the other comment, I should say. Okay. I started to change my mindset. Yeah. Okay, so it's, okay, I guess when I say showing up as a lie, I guess maybe the better way of putting it would be like that is the perspective that you have had, right? Like that's the perspective that you have had where it's blocking off feeling the things, trying to only focus on the being happy, like, and if you're only doing the manifesting part and you're not doing this other work, then that could still be the case. But you're trying to do this. When we do mindset shift, we have to, we can't shift it like, okay, hold on. This is the misconception, right? We don't need to focus on shifting our mindset from negative to positive, right? That's not balance. We have to shift to objective, right? So that we can look at a situation and go, okay, here's the things that I can control, and here's the things I can't control. These things kind of suck, but here's the goals. This is what I need to do to get there. And then, like, that's the perspective, right? We need balanced and objective, not solely positive or solely negative. Manifesting, I ask what's your advice on manifesting, since I am so new to it. As yeah, so I have, oh, did I post it? I think I did. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see something. Could you get out of the way, please? Yes. Okay. So there's a video that I did, and it's called Personal Growth Map. And it's a moved over from TikTok thing, but I explained kind of a general overview, I guess I'll say, of, everybody's like talks about wanting to change their life, and nobody has any idea where to start. So I made that. I was like, here's where to start. But I would say in general, the biggest thing that I mentioned on there is you want to sit down and you want to think about like 5, 3, something like that, like really big long-term goals that you're on, right? Like, let's talk, like I want to own a house, right? So think about maybe like a realistic amount of time that's probably going to take. You don't necessarily have to put a time on it, but so once you've got the big goal, then you need to break that down into smaller goals, right? Goals are the things we want to manifest. So, if you're trying to buy the house, smaller goals could be like, I'm going to put aside like, $100 per paycheck or a couple $100 per paycheck or whatever into this savings account so that in, 10 years I can like just own a house, like, or, smaller, like a car or something. You get my point. And so that's just a breakdown of the goals, right? Now, in order to get there, if you're wanting to do like regular manifestation work, because, if the goal is get to the house, right? And then the smaller goal is put aside this amount of money. You could put manifestation into like, I'm going to get like I'm calling like I'm going to get the prosperity necessary to be able to meet this goal. Like I'm going to get the amount of hours at work that I need, or I'm going to get a promotion that's going to come with the raise that I need, or whatever. So you put your manifestation energy into what's going to meet the goal. And it doesn't have to only be that, but in general, it's also manifestation works differently than people think that it does. So hold on, somebody was talking. I'm clear on it, among other things. Oh, yeah. I was going to say, people think about manifestation like they're going to say, I'm going to get a car, and it's just going to show up in their driveway. Like you have to put work into manifestation. You have to move things. Like it, I mean, it's kind of like, so if you do the manifestation spell, you've got all of this water that's sitting in the tap. But if you don't do anything to open the faucet, none of it's coming out. So, you've got to do things to allow that energy somewhere to go in order to work with you. Also, it doesn't always work out in the same ways that you expect it to, especially with money. Like money and love, I swear to God, that's the two it's the two things that we want the most control over and have the least control over. So yeah, I would say you want the goals thing, and then understanding that things come differently than we expect them, but they come in the way that they're supposed to. Also, some people, I explained this the other day too. Somebody was like, well, I don't know why it's not happening fast enough. And I'm like, well, sometimes things are held back for a certain amount of time in order to keep something, like in order to keep something bad from happening. You know what I mean? In order to get you to the thing that you really want, they're like not giving you this thing over here yet, even though you think you want it, especially with relationships. But I described it like, you're going, you're like going down the river, and all of a sudden there's this big freaking rock in your way. I was like, well, now what? Like, so I'm gonna give an adjacent example, right? Big rock in the way. So that can be, I've got a good example. So this happens not super often, but it has happened to me like fairly recently. Where like something happens and like my car won't start, or my kid won't get his butt in the car or something, and I don't get to leave until like 10 minutes late. Right. So that was the rock. Right. And then I find out like there was an accident where I would have been that would have had me in it if I was there on time. So like sometimes blockages, they seem like blockages, and really they're just detours to keep your ass from getting into a bad spot. So sometimes things don't happen as fast as we want them or in the way that we want them, because if you're going down that river, sometimes that boulder is to keep you from going over a waterfall. So it's to make you go down a different path. People think that when they don't get what they're wanting, that it's like, they're doing something wrong, or that it's a punishment or something. And that's almost never the case. Do you want me to read this one? I'm going to read this one. And you can ask whatever else you were going to ask too. So this one is intentional stillness. Winter invites us into a magical hush. If this moment has left you out in the cold, embrace the lull. The cold has the power to suspend, to hold, to freeze until it is time to act. There is divine protection in suspended animation. Right now, life has brought you the opportunity to embrace the power of the colder, more protective dimensions. Carve a sparkly igloo inside your heart. Get still. Open yourself to the cold clarity derived from detached observation. The time to plant and grow and play will come again. For now, seek shelter in the cooler energies. The gift of snow is stillness. I'm going to let go of the session with the results. Yeah. I think, what was I going to say? Yeah, I think that okay, let me just say this. All right. Give yourself credit for like how far that you've already come because you've already taken some massive steps in the right direction. And good things are going to be happening for you. There's a lot of steps in between that I am also still doing, like I'm fairly far along into things and there's still always something else. So like, give yourself credit for how far that you have come, right? For working on this stuff because a lot of people would just very much rather stick their head in the sand to pretend like there's not a train coming at them. I make a lot of metaphors and analogies and just goofy comparisons. But you're getting somewhere, I think the takeaway in summary is right. So we talked about the manifestation, the goals thing, and that video is up, the one that says personal growth map. And right, and shadow work, and ultimately the understanding that like we need objective, balanced perspective, not positive perspective, right? Because happy and positive are just one side to the coin, one side to the journey. And they're not always the most helpful. There's no growth without adversity. Man, I'm on the wisdom talk tonight, apparently. My ADHD, I just noticed something. They can't see it over here, but you can over there. This curtain that I just stuck it in this so I could get into my closet thing earlier, but it looks like it's like a hand that's coming towards me. It's actually not, but it looks like it is. You're welcome. Okay. All right, guys. Man, I don't know who's still over here on TikTok. It's 5 people. It's crazy. And I don't think any of them are me. Insane. Okay, guys. All right, I'm gonna get off of here. Today's Thursday, right? Yeah. I'll be back on Monday. Yeah, I hope everybody has a fantastic, wonderful, magical night, day, morning, afternoon, whatever it is for everyone. And I'll see you guys very soon. Good night, Charles.